Hello and welcome to the Nerds Drink Whiskey Deep Dive for the HBO series Watchmen. This is where we do our best to fill in things you might have missed while watching the show. Feel free to comment below if we missed anything. Often I talk about how good drama should almost always follow what I call the Shakespeare rule. This is where the goal of a perfect balance between comedy and tragedy are kept. The darker the drama, the darker the comedy needs to be. HBO's continuation of the Watchmen saga kicks off with nothing but the darkest drama on television. Before I get into the actual episode, I should say that showrunner Damon Lindelof made it clear that the show will be about what happened after the events of the comic series, and that is what happens here. The episode starts out by shining a much-needed light on one of the most shameful parts of United States history. In 1921, there was the Tulsa Massacre, where an area known to many as Black Wall Street was leveled. As many as 300 citizens were killed, almost 1,000 were injured, and about 6,000 black residents were arrested. We are not a political show, a history show, and try not to be a total bummer, but I strongly encourage you to look up and do a quick read on the Black Wall Street Massacre. It really sets the tone for the entire episode, and although it works well to ignore the Shakespeare rule for the first episode, if they don't find some dark comedy to balance things out, this show will be reduced to nothing but a complete bummer to watch. We learn next that police can't draw a weapon without having the gun unlocked by a dispatcher first. The show's premise is that there are white supremacist types that are doxing, hunting down, and killing African American police officers. The police conceal their identities but are still found out and hunted down by the 7th Cavalry, who have embraced the ideas of Rorschach. Original characters from the graphic novel are assumed dead, with the new character Angela Abar being the main focus. Angela Abar is secretly an Oklahoma detective with the superhero identity Sister Knight. In this alternate universe, Robert Redford has been the President of the United States for 28 years, and masked hero costumes are against the law. Reparations were issued, but they are called Redfurations and seem to have further divided the country. It rains little baby squids, but we are not filled in if this is a tribute to the comic, foreshadowing of things to come, or both. Adrian Veidt is thought to be dead, but is really hiding away in this really cool castle. Dr. Manhattan is shown on Mars building a castle that looks exactly like the one on Earth, hiding Ozymandias. The play Oklahoma has a very important role in this episode and even inspires the name of Police Chief Judd Crawford, played by Don Johnson. It is strongly hinted that Louis Gossett Jr.'s character, Will Reeves, is the little child who we see escape from the Black Wall Street Massacre. The episode ends with the police chief dead and hanging from a tree. Will Reeves claims to be the one who did it, somehow from his wheelchair. In short, the first episode was a constant flood of setup with a perfect balance of filling in those who haven't read the comic, but without boring those of us who have. This will either be extremely amazing or extremely disappointing. Let's just hope that showrunner Damon Lindelof can stick the landing better than he did with his show Lost, because as good as he is with running a show, he seriously sucks at endings. Come back next Monday for highlights of episode 2, but remember that our flagship show, Nerds Drink Whiskey, posts every Friday morning.